Notes of bureaucracy before I forget to go over them completely. I'm compiling a list of like weird issues people have had with ZBrush and or Mudbox or like displacement stuff. So if you're having a specific issue and you want me to try to find a solution, let me know. Yeah. Yep. That's weird.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing, but I did like the create UV.
Right.
Why that looks like that, I guess.
That's bizarre.
But like it says like create your own, like and it'll like do it for you automatically. Like I don't know how reliable it is.
Right.
Like
For like Mudbox default UVs? Or Maya?
no, Mudbox.
Okay, I've never tried that before because that scares the crap out of me. That's weird. I'll look into that. If I might like pull your file and see if I can reproduce that error. But this is gonna sound really stupid. I assume that you did you go through and like try to import it multiple times? Because I've once or twice I've like put my model in and it's like your model's broken and terrible, and then I'll like close the program, put it in again, and it's like your model is fine, and I'm like, why? I assume that that's not going to fix it, but I don't know. I'm paranoid, and sometimes it works, sometimes. But yeah, I'll look into that as well. Anyone else have any issues that they were having with displacement stuff? All right. Cool. All right, and then I assume that most of you guys have seen this email, or at least some of you have. I have no idea. But I sent out a poll earlier. Yep.
This is just a general question. So just while I was doing all this modeling stuff, when is it more applicable to use ZBrush versus Misc versus Maya for doing these modeling things?
Honestly, it depends on personal preference. I feel like most people who are like serious about sculpting would probably recommend ZBrush. I don't know. Honestly, I use all three, and then I use other programs to model. It just like depends what you prefer doing. Pretty much anything you can do in Maya, you can actually do in ZBrush, and vice versa. It just depends on how you like working. Was there like a specific thing that you were wondering about? Or just like general?
Mostly it was just my frustration with hair, but
I mean, this is fair. I personally, the way I do hair, which as a disclaimer, I hate, and doing hair makes me sad. ZBrush is, if I took the time to like learn a few ZBrush tools, it would probably make hair way easier. But I think it depends on what you're doing. So like for me personally, so like I remember I was looking at like your cat thing, which because I'm feeling evil right now. So like for the type of hair that you did for your project, where am I going? I would probably sculpt that base shape in Maya, just because like to me that makes more sense. Wait, Photoshop. And then I would have gone into like ZBrush or Mudbox and thrown in some other random texture on the hair just to like give it more dimension. It's black and white now. Don't know why. But yeah, so like I just personally think it's easier to make this base shape in Maya, and then if I do that, I have like more control over the base mesh, which depending on your use may or may not be helpful. And then actually I like Mudbox for hair. If you use this particular alpha, it just gives you this like weird like streaky one. It just for some reason gives you really decent looking hair. You gotta smooth it afterwards, but I don't know, I just find it comes out pretty nicely most of the time. But yeah, I don't know. It's honestly just kind of like fiddle around in different programs, see how you like doing stuff. Because I mean, strictly speaking, I probably would have done this in Modo, which is like the software if you take organic modeling that you'd use, and then I might have even sculpted it in like Mesh Mixer, which is just like a random free program online. It's total crapshoot. But yeah. Any other questions on Maya stuff? Cool. All right, so like I was saying, I sent out like that weird email thing earlier today with a poll in it. So next week is a little bit of a free week. The schedule is just kind of like, use your discretion to figure out what to teach. And I figured I would do just sort of like a random smattering of stuff that you guys were actually interested in. So if you guys have a preference for what we go over next week, make sure to fill out that survey. It probably takes like 10 seconds. I think it seems like a lot of people are actually leaning towards like super basic rigging and like N-cloth and definitely like UVs and stuff like that for game stuff. But yeah, so these all sound like things that are probably going to end up getting gone over, but there's like 16 or a lot of suggestions for like things that I thought of, and then if you guys want to suggest anything, you're welcome to do that as well. Blah, 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 to-do. All right, hang on. Sorry. And then I think, so you guys should all have your teams for the finals now. If anybody, like, at this point, I guess, I mean, I've assigned you teams if you didn't have one. If you're having issues getting in contact with any of your group members, just let me know in an email or after class, and I'll try to, like, hunt them down for you. And then I've said this before, but just, like, as another sort of random sort of PSA, it is a good idea to save often, but also save versions of your file instead of just saving, you know, overwriting the same file over and over. So if you do that, if your file, you know, somehow gets corrupted, if you only have that one file, you lose everything. If you have multiple versions, you only lose, you know, whatever was in the latest corrupted version. So doing that has saved me significant amounts of time where, like, I opened a file once and Maya deleted like half my objects and all my textures. I'm like, well, this sucks. But I had a previous version, so I only ended up having to do about an hour of work over again. But yeah, so that's basically all the random PSA stuff I have. Any questions about any of that? All right. Cool.